Hey guys, look, we're just starting again in the third down, the final down, fellas. We got Tim, we got Cueto, we got Dula, we got James. Guys, take it away.
Hey, listen, I got to get a recount. We just heard a few minutes ago that our own Dilla, he ran a 4.10 at the scouting combine. Rich Eisen, NFL Network, Dion, oh yeah, this is the man. He just ran the 4.10.
Yo, listen, I
Top
ran a
that.
He ran a
410.
410 from the
I ran
plate
it.
to his mouth.
Yo, I ran a 410 backwards in Tim's.
Oh
Crazy
man.
dude.
but
I was
we
immaculate. I
got
ran that 4-1.
we're gonna do a quick NFC East and AFC East preview real quick. We're gonna go. I'm gonna start off, of course, with my Dallas Cowboys. I know we need running back um, to help out with McFadden, but we definitely need defensive players. So I am saying a guy like Miles Jack will fit the bill. He could play all linebacker spots just in case Sean Lee gets down. Or we saw that
Just in
last year.
case? Or do you mean when?
Hey, just in case. Just in case. All right? Just like John Hughes said, just in case. So that's my pick for the Dallas Cowboys. What y'all think?
Okay,
So
well, I'm going to say with your Cowboys, I'm just going to basically say what I've said already. I think with the number fourth pick, the value of that pick, don't play around with it. It's not a pick you guys are going to have your hands on. As much as I hate your guts, it's not a pick you guys are going to have your hands on very often. You guys are a 16th or later draft position, and you're never going to get a shot at the potential to get a top QB. You trade back 2 spots at 5 or 6 to pick up some extra picks, and then you snatch either Wentz or Goff, and that's it. I think that's the pick for you guys. Don't don't draft a guy that you can have in the second round or something, or in the next draft you find a beast lineman just like him or whatever. Take the quarterback and protect yourself from the future. Do the same thing Green Bay did.
Winston won't be there though.
All right, so you know what? You mentioned Green Bay. Green Bay took their quarterback at 24 overall. Dallas
Right.
is in number 4. And you know what? If Dallas took a quarterback, I wouldn't be mad at him. I get it. Tony Romo, I respect the guy. I think, as much crap as people give him, he puts up numbers. He's a good quarterback. But he's having this, he's having preventative maintenance on his collarbone. That doesn't sound so good for a guy who's in his mid-30s.
Right.
He's taking hits. It's the game. Even with that offensive line, the dude's taking some hits. It's
I'm
part of the
sorry.
game.
You said preventative maintenance. I think it's corrective maintenance because if you have any maintenance on your collarbone, I don't think it's from you're preventing anything. The damage
Right,
is already done.
I understand. So he's broken that collarbone a lot. So at 4, in the ideal situation, they would trade back, and there's a lot of flexibility in that top 10. You can get you a Jalen Ramsey who could be a corner safety. You can get you a Miles Jack who can play out 3 linebacker spots. You can even get you a DeForest Buckner who can be a DND tackle, depending on what you want to do. But you got to sit there at 4 and say to yourself, listen, if Jared Goff can be my guy in 2-3 years, you take him now because you don't know what's going to happen years from now. You have no clue what the
And it's an
quarterback
insurance
class will look
policy.
like.
And I just want to say, it's an insurance policy. Like, you can't have your season derailed again because your quarterback goes down. Look what happened when Romo went down. It took you guys from being a playoff team that everyone was sure that you guys were going to make the playoffs to you guys being 4th overall in the draft. You can't
But you know what?
derail a season like that. It's an insurance policy.
I'm going to tell you this, Cueto. If you look at that NFC East, how many wins did Dallas have?
3?
Is it 3 or 4?
4.
4? The Redskins had what, 7?
Yeah, 3 games away.
It's
Oh,
a
they
lot
were-
of
they
parity
were
in
not
that
bad.
division.
But hold on.
Redskins win 4-9.
So it's like,
Hey, listen, real quick. We don't all need to. I'm gonna start getting emotional, start drinking. That's nightmares. It's nightmares.
Dallas has a real quandary here. Do they
Mhm.
take their quarterback now and just mortgage the future? Or do they try to get a playmaker now and try to make a run at that division?
Right, 2 years. Yeah,
Dallas is in the position. if your division leader was 7 wins last season, you're in the position, and you're only 3 wins out. Maybe Miles Jack is the difference maker. Maybe Jalen Ramsey is the difference maker. Maybe DeForest Buckner is maybe Noah Spence, although I think 4 would be a bit high for him, is your difference maker. But if you take a quarterback at 4, you're stashing him. It's no way he's your day 1 starter, and you will not know what he's going to give you until 2-3 years from now.
All right, move on to the next team, guys.
How about
the next team?
The New York Giants. My prediction is the Giants, they do need a running back. They do need some defense.
No, they don't.
Hold on. My prediction is I think the Giants would have Shaq Lawson, the D from Clemson. I think it's good. Or if available, Zeke Elliott from Ohio.
At that pick sitting at 10, I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to be the pick. He showed out at the combine, so did Derrick Henry. I just like Ezekiel Elliott as a guy who can play all 3 downs. I'm not sure about Derrick Henry coming out the backfield.
Did any of you guys watch the Giants this year? At all?
I did.
You did.
And I just want to say, if they don't draft a DN, they're going to sign me and my 290 frame. I run about a 6'2" right now. And I'm going to start for them at DN if they don't draft a DN. So
just make sure before you run, wrap up your ankles. All right.
So to that point though, there's a lot of depth in this DN class in the defensive line. They can get someone in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
The Giants need more. They need more than one. Let me tell you something, right? And I mean, I don't know any more than you guys know, but I watch every single game, every minute, and I died with this team this year. They had absolutely no pass rush. None. 0. They're not drafting a running back with number 10, especially with Jerry Reese's job on the line. That's not happening. It's not happening. They will go defense.
Who is sitting there?
Excuse me?
Who's sitting there at 10? If your options are Shaq Lawson versus Kevin Dodd versus Emmanuel Ogba,
how about Noah Spence? How about Noah Spence?
I don't think Noah Spence fits what we want to do. I don't think he fits what we want to do.
All right, guys.
All right.
Move on.
All right, next team. Next team we're going to pick is the Washington Redskins, the NFC East champions last year. It's a hard one. They played 3-4. They franchise Kirk Cousins, so we know he's going to be back. If anything, I'll probably say wide receiver. I think they're going to try to get rid of Deshaun Jackson this year. For some reason, I just have that gut feeling. And a receiver like Dotson, a bigger receiver, I can see him go to the Redskins from TCU.
Go ahead, Cueto.
For me, to be honest, I think the Skins got shitted, or excuse me, they got what's the term? I think the Skins actually got robbed because they took the positions that the Cowboys should have had. They're a team that still has a lot of holes that they need to fix. And I think middle linebacker, I think D tackle is a big one. I think receiver is another one. I don't know how much longer. Can't remember so their possession wide receiver. What's his name? Their possession wide receiver.
Garcon?
Garcon. I don't know how much longer he has.
Right.
I think their O-line's okay, but I would probably go for them. Probably Andrew Billings. I think they need a bit more strength up the middle, and that's gonna help them out. But they're drafting way too late to affect the. I think they're going to tumble back down and be in last place again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they were what do you call them? Mirage.
Luke.
So yeah.
Me? I'll do a quick.
Oh, quick. I would look for Chris Jones or Robert Nkemdiche at a defensive end for them.
Oh, nice. Okay, real quick, going to AFC East. The New England Patriots, they don't have a draft pick, so I think what they're going to do is draft a new cell phone for Cellgate Part 2. They have no first round pick, so I'll tell you this. I'll tell you position. I think receiver. I think the best receiver in their position is available, I think they would need that because they just released what's his name today?
So
Brandon
LaFell.
LaFell. So if they don't address the wide receiver need in the free agency, I think they'll get one in the draft.
What about Corey Coleman? You think he'll be around in the second round?
No.
Nah.
He's going
he'll be gone by the time they go.
Yeah.
Okay.
For them, I'd probably say they need a middle linebacker. Because they just lost, I think, Hightower.
Yeah.
Hightower
No, they lost Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo retired.
Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo. So linebacker, they're going to need to replace that.
I think the Patriots, the Patriot way is to go by the trenches. So, at that point, I think they'll either take a guard or they'll look to take a middle linebacker or pass rushing defensive end. They play a 4-3 now, so.
Okay, who you got, Coop?
For New England?
Yes.
That what about that receiver from what's his name? Texas A&M? Josh Doxson or something like that?
That's
Will he be going by the second round?
Oh, for TCU. Doxson. TCU. Yeah, TCU.
He'll be going by the second.
He could be in
No, he's going in the first. He ran great at the draft. He's going in the first.
Oh,
okay. All right, so we go to the Jets.
Moving on, guys.
I got the Jets taking a running back. They need that because Irie's a free agent. All they got is Bilal Powell back there. So if you know what, Zeke Elliott is running through my mind. Zeke, if he's there, just gonna take him.
I strongly think Zeke is going to be gone by then. I think they're going to make the splash jump and grab Henry. I think how he performed at the combine, just his size, speed, and everything. I think they'll jump up and they'll take Henry.
Okay.
I think their coach loves defense. I think this is going to be a surprise pick. I think they go Sua Cravens, outside linebacker, USC.
That's a possibility.
Former safety is going to play, in that 3-4 as a weak side linebacker, or could slide into the middle. But I think, you look at your offensive options. I think they're okay on offense. They may look to free agency for a running back, but no, I think they'll go Sua Cravens.
How about you, Coop?
The Jets?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when you said about Ezekiel Elliott. I think they will go running back, either him or Henry. You know what I mean? I think they got to replace that production somehow, But, I mean, I don't know. Is this draft deep at the running back?
No.
It's not bad.
That's the point. So, yeah, I think they might go one of those two in the first round. And I think Ezekiel might be there for them. When are they picking? When are they, right around the middle of the first?
19, I believe. 19.
Possibility.
All right, guys. Move on to the next team.
All right, we have the Buffalo Bills. What do they need? What they don't? They need receiver. They pick I believe 2021. They need receiver, and you know what? Again, I'm rolling with Doxson. Just like Q said it earlier. The draft is so flexible depending on what team do the drop back and go forward. I still think we had nobody to throw that ball to. We saw the receiver; he was crying last year, not getting the ball enough. So you want to draft that insurance in case you got problems this coming season. So receiver is a basic need. If it's not Doxson, maybe they want to get you on Fuller, Notre Dame. He ran a 4.3 5 at the combines. Questionable hands. Maybe that's the pick.
I agree. I think they'll probably go wide receiver because they think they're closer to making the playoffs than they actually are. I think they've got a pretty young nucleus with the quarterback and the previous wide receiver. I believe they're getting rid of Percy Harvin. So I think Dotson, Treadwell are a match there. Or they can snatch Jason Spriggs, who I think really shocked a lot of people with his athleticism. He's the offensive tackle from Indiana.
If I'm the Buffalo Bills, if it's me, I'm taking Connor Cook at that pick. I do not believe in Tyrod Taylor. I think Tyrod Taylor is a stopgap. and I would get my franchise quarterback. However, Tyrod Taylor did good enough to keep the show moving. But so then Rex Ryan's a defensive guy. In that defensive line, he did not have the players to run that 3-4. Therefore, I see Jerron Reed from Alabama being that pick at nose tackle for them. Move Marcel Darius to defensive end, and they'll build that defensive lineup and work on that linebacker core in the later rounds.
Okay.
We got the last team. We got the Miami Dolphins. They own the number 8 pick in the draft.
Shout out to Jamie Jackson.
Hey, not only Jamie, hey, Randy Watson Brown. I wish we asked Randy what he would want in the draft, but I'll tell you this: they need corners. Their secondary was horrible last year. Even with Grimes doing his decent job. Earlier, Q, you said that it was Cooper. Eli Apple had a good combine.
Mm-hmm.
Or William Jackson. Maybe they sneak up in the first round high with the 8th pick. I think it will be Eli Apple from Ohio State if Ramsey is picked. Did I move up?
I'm thinking that's too early for him. It's too early for corner. I personally think that their biggest need isn't even corner. I think they need to address their defense, but outside linebacker is an issue for them. And I think at the 8th spot, the two guys that make sense is either Jack or Lee. I think with Lee running that 4-4-7, teams are going to salivate over that because they're going to look at how Levante David. I'm sorry, I mess up first names all the time. I focus on last names. But the linebacker David from the Bucks and the impact he's had in turning around their defense. And I think you snatch a guy that's that quick, that smart, and that physical.
So the Miami Dolphins, first of all, shout out to the Dolphins for overpaying Ndamukong Suh, taking away from the Lions. And that's okay because we were still better than them last year, and they had Suh. Great. But it's really got to be on the defensive side of the ball. They really underachieved on that side of the ball. Olivier Vernon's a free agent. You never know what's going to happen with that. I think they go defensive end. I think this is where Noah Spence goes. I think they're looking for a pure pass rusher on the other side of Cameron Wake, who's coming off an injury, and he fits the bill. The thing with Noah Spence is that you really wonder about the guy, like, okay, he got banned from the Big Ten for having a drug problem. We're talking about ecstasy here. So now that he's in the NFL, you just wonder, can he pull it together? Can he keep it going? Because they drafted another guy high, Deion Jordan, who also had a PED problem. And,
Jordan.
And busted out. So you don't want to do that again. But I think Noah Spence is the real deal here. One thing I want to add about Ohio State had 14 players invited to the Combine. If you count Noah Spence, who played at Ohio State, and then Jeremy Cash, who also did, they were loaded. So I think Noah Spence will be a great pick here.
All right, wrap it up, guys.
So you're saying also they'll pick Noah Spence even if Oliver Vernon is retained? Because remember, they have a transition tag on him, meaning that they can match any offer for Oliver Vernon in free agency. So even if he's re-signed, you still think Spence will be the guy at the end?
If Olivier Vernon gets re-signed, I think then they'll look at linebacker because they're outside of Jelani Jenkins, they're not that great at linebacker. So like you said, a Lee would be good there.
Yeah.
Miles Jack, if he's there, would be good there. Reggie Ragland is a bit higher at that pick, but yeah.
Alabama.
How addictive is ecstasy really? Is it really a drug?
Listen,
not that I've ever done ecstasy.
Well, it is kind of is. I mean,
wait, son. You said it like, wait a minute. You say it kind of is like
because
you up in the clubs, man.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? Like that's a party drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what it does, you could probably say it's kind of like weed in sort of a sense, but it is what it does. That chemical in your brain that makes you feel good, it dumps that hard body into your system. The problem is that same chemical in your brain regulates your body temperature.
Mm.
So when it just dumps out, and now later on you need to regulate your body just gets hot and hot and hot. That's why you see people run into the bathroom. In some clubs, they turn off the faucet and everything. They're in the toilet bowl trying to get cool. It's crazy.
I know. I totally understand that. I totally understand it, but I'm saying that's something that he can beat. You know what I mean? That's something he can choose.
Oh, no, you can beat it, but I mean...
It's something you choose not to do, you know?
But
it's not
you
like,
know what? Here's another thing about drugs.
It's like, he's not going to be selling the coach's VCR.
No, but here's the problem that people don't talk about drugs. When you say can be beat, I mean, you talking about weed, or you talking about cocaine, you talking about heroin?
Oh,
most people...
with these guys...
Wait, you guys hear that? You guys hear that?
Yes,
so Dr. Storm, because you are the Doogie Howser right now about the ecstasy. So,
now,
you know.
The thing about drugs. Here's the thing about drugs you have to also put in mind. A lot of people take heroin. A lot of people take a lot of hard drugs, and most of them beat it. And a doctor, I can't remember the top of my head, he has like a crazy, what do you call it, dread thing going on in his head. But he's a doctor, and his research turns out that it's more of a psychological thing. Yeah, you can say you can beat it, but if your life is not together, you're more likely going to relapse back into drugs. So you can't just say...
And this is a guy...
Here's what I wanted to say. Yeah. I wanted to say that I think the NFL has a coke problem. I think it has a hidden coke problem. The celebrities do coke. That's just a known fact. And like so many players get caught with coke, or they're dealing with people that do coke when they party. So I think the NFL has a coke problem. So I'm comparing it to that. Like when you compare ecstasy and its effect to coke, like it's just not the same thing, you know what I mean?
No, it's not the same because coke is more of a adrenaline kind of drug. Ecstasy, you're on a crazy high, like your senses is out of the everything you touch. It's crazy. So
check out two things though.
Yeah.
One, the guy got banned from a Power 5 conference for his drug use.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
Like, that's really hard to achieve. Secondly, if he does go to Miami, you're talking ecstasy's a party drug, right? That's a party scene. So he said wherewithal to, because like Johnny Manziel's having this problem right now. Now, I'm not saying no offense to Johnny Manziel.
Cleveland is not a party scene.
Exactly, and he has problems. Now he goes to party scenes. So imagine if you live in this party scene in Miami, and you've had in the past you've had a problem. You just wonder, like, you gotta do your due diligence. Remember, Stephen Ross is the same guy who Des got in the interview.
We gotta wrap this up. We way over time.
Well, I just want to add that everybody watching this right now, 2-minute warning. I did not comment anything about ecstasy or drugs or coke. So if anything happens, remember I did not comment about any of that stuff.
Whatever.
These guys did. But what I like about Noah Spence is just to make my point real fast was that even though he acknowledged the drug use and he was straight up in interviews, he did say that he would love to get tested every week if he had to because he has passed that. And I mean, let's keep it real. I know a lot of teams like my Dallas Cowboys get beaten up by the media because we give second chance. And I'm gonna tell you this: I believe the way Dallas scouts, the way Q scouts, and if they saying these guys, Noah Spence is the real deal, and NFL teams want to stay away from him. Listen, he'll be our treasure at the end by the second round. We can move back in the first.
All right, we gotta wrap it up, but I'd like to let you know if you're into the party scene, you will have a hard time breaking the habit of drugs. And ecstasy is not really a drug that will probably get you hook. But if you're addicted to having a good time, addicted to go out crazy, trust me, you're going to have a hard time beating any kind of drug, even weed. And weed is not even addicted.
Sean, that what you just said was an after-school special, man. I loved it. The way you
no.
said it, say
Just
no.
Say no. All right, guys, that's our show. We went way over time, but we catch you guys next week. Easy.
Peace out.